As long as you can unmute. As long as you can. I'm going to say you can leave your microphone on. It shouldn't give enough feedback to worry about. No, in fact, I run everything through there instead of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dr. Swab, I've told him to go ahead and start the live stream. So whenever you're ready, we are ready. Okay.
I'd like to go ahead and get our meeting started this evening. I'd like to call to order the Bradford Village Board of Education February 17th meeting. If we could stand for the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Dr. Swab. Mrs. Brewer. Pastor Reindl.
Here.
Mr. Biesecker.
Here.
Mr. Manuel.
Welcome everyone here this evening. And our kind of first item on the agenda is review the agenda. Any additions or deletions to the agenda that we have printed?
We don't have additions to add to the agenda, but board members, please notice the couple pieces there that we did add since we shared it with you, including one for a resolution to help us with the construction process that hopefully will speed things up just a little bit.
Remember to print up the amended agenda.
Second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call for approval.
Mr. Biesecker.
Yes.
Dr. Swab.
Yes.
Mrs. Brewer.
Yes.
Pastor Reindl.
Yes. Next item on our agenda is approving the manager organization meeting and the special meeting. Is there a motion to approve? And who is it? Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, roll call for approval.
Mr. Biesecker.
Yes.
Dr. Swab.
Yes.
Mrs. Brewer.
Yes.
Pastor Reindl.
Yes. Next item is a return, meeting member to our executive team or student and staff spotlight.
Good evening. Before we get started, I have to say, it's kind of nice to see the students back in here. I've gone through quite a few meetings where we haven't had students here. It's kind of nice to actually see who we're talking about. So we're going to start with the elementary student spotlights for February. Our first student that we're honoring is So our first student that we're honoring is Ava Huddleson. And she was nominated by Mrs. Unthank, and this is what Mrs. Unthank had to say about Ava. Sorry. I would like to nominate Ava Huddleson for the Bradford Board of Education Student Spotlight. School does not always come easy to Ava, but she does not let that get in her way. She always tries her very best, even on challenging assignments that might be easier to give up on. While in quarantine, Ava completed all assignments that you've been asked for. School is obviously very important to her, and she is dedicated to being the best student possible. Ava does a well with her students and fellow classmates. When someone needs help in the hallway with an assignment, I can always count on Ava to bring a helping hand. She has a special way of getting along with others no matter the circumstance. Ava has maturity, determination, and caring heart that makes her such an amazing student. Congratulations, Ava. You deserve the recognition from the school board for all your hard work. And And next, we have a lady who's nominated by Mr. Smith. So, Marina, if you want to come up here, Mr. Smith. She's going to read.
So this is Miranda. I nominated Miranda for the spotlight. She comes to class each day. She's ready to learn. She brings all of her materials in addition to a cheerful attitude and contagious enthusiasm. Miranda's helpful to classmates and teachers. She can be counted on to be engaged and to work independently. She's not afraid to ask questions if she does not understand something or she needs extra help. Miranda is a member of Tumble University. She participates in cheer competitions outside of school. She would like to be a cheer coach when she grows up. I'm very proud of the railroader qualities that Miranda shows in and out of the classroom. Keep up the great work, Miranda. Congratulations.
So next we move on to junior high and high school. So our next nominee is Elizabeth. And she was nominated by Mr. Snyder. This is what Mr. Snyder has to say about Elizabeth. I'd like to nominate Elizabeth Skinner for the Bradford Board of Education Student Spotlight. Elizabeth is a great asset and representative of Bradford schools and the ideal high school student. She is always kind, responsible, and respectful. I have observed Elizabeth doing the right thing when no one is looking, having very admirable integrity. She's a quiet leader and also contributed to our girls' powerlifting team. She's also in a challenging PE setting, but always comes in with a positive attitude. Elizabeth is a joy to be around and a pleasure to have in class. Congratulations, Elizabeth. And our final student for this evening is Joshua was nominated by Mr. Dillon. This is what Mr. Dillon had to say about Joshua. I'd like to nominate Joshua Durstein for the Bradford Board of Education Student Spotlight. Joshua exemplifies what it means to be Bradford's best. His biggest strength lies in his ability to create and fulfill goals. Over the past year, he's made a concerted effort to become a comic book artist. A couple months ago, his dream of becoming a comic book artist became a reality when the company Black Flag Comics offered him the chance to be their artist for one of their projects. This success has not gone to his head. He is still as motivated and determined to succeed as ever, and he is always willing to ask for help when he needs it. He has not forgotten about his academics during the time. He does well academically and participates with powerlifting team here at school. As we celebrate academic and athletic achievements here at the school, it is always great to be reminded that Bradford not only produces great scholars and great athletes, but great artists as well. Congratulations. If you get a chance to see some of Joshua's comments, they are amazing. I know a little bit about comic books, and he's going to have a bright future ahead of him. And then we have the staff spotlight. And this month we are honoring Mrs. Timmerman and Mrs. Bear, who was nominated by Mrs. Lady. We'd like to present Mrs. Timmerman and Mrs. Bear as our Bradford Board of Education staff spotlights. These staff members go above and beyond in their job to help our students be well-rounded citizens. They were recently seen helping one of their students by spending extra time and effort with them. So often academics is what we focus on to strive to make academic growth. These two ladies know that there is more to it than that and take it upon themselves to help the whole child. We are so lucky to have such great staff here at Bradford. Congratulations, Mrs. Turner and Mrs. Bear, on a job well done.
Okay, so up here I can kind of tell a little bit about the parent teacher conferences that we just had last Wednesday. The elementary, it's interesting, the big thing with COVID that's taken place that's kind of been a positive, because I know it's hard to find a lot of positive through COVID, but we have actual in-person conferences as well as we are able to reach a lot more parents because we can do online Google Meet conferences. And that's been a very big plus, because a lot of families are busy and they can't make it in, and so we can actually, they can multitask and have a conference at the same time. So that's been a big plus for us. We also had some things that the high school did, and I'll let Mr. bar take over there.
And when I got here, one of the things that we talked about in the fall was, how do we try to get more parents in for parent-teacher conferences at the middle school, high school level? Because our numbers are typically low, and that's across, any school district. So we try to bring in different, informational meetings to drive those people in. And we also had an art show with the elementary and the high school to get more people in the building. And, our DC trip was well attended, along with our College Credit Plus meeting for those students that want to go to Edison or Wright State. And then Deputy Bubeck had an informational meeting with parents about, what vaping is doing to our society, along with social media stuff. So having all of those different things, the building was quite busy, which is nice to see. I wish we would still have more parents coming in to parent-teacher conferences. Reach out, contact your teachers as much as possible. We're here to help as much as we can with your students' academic growth. But it was a really, really good evening all around. And the teachers did a great job putting a lot of things together. Mrs. Estes and Holly did a great job with the art fair and the kids. And we have a lot of talented kids here that we just like to, highlight and, show everything that they do as much as we can.
In fact, I think the next slide is the art show. Yes, this was the art festival that we had. We had a lot of the artwork that was K through 12. Well, I think it was more 3 through 12, but there were a lot of items that was put out. In fact, it was kind of creative. I thought this was creative. I don't know what those spicy things are that they eat. Yeah, Takis. But it's a neat art project there. But it was really neat to see all that. And next year, we're trying to make it grow even more. We'll have some music involved in it for next college time as well.
Yeah, we're looking at more, arts, overall arts, instead of just actual art that you do. So we're going to try to incorporate, even some singing at the level and the band, and maybe have some sort of concert during that time as well.
All right, these are students of the week from the last time that we met. We had several that were recognized. Sometimes it's hard to get everybody down there when I'm trying to take the pictures. So I catch them at the end, and it's really going well. As you can see, they're also excited to be recognized, and I think it's a great addition to what we started this year. Valentine's Day festivities took place. I wasn't able to either. Mr. Dowry made sure to take great pictures of a big part of the elementary to make sure that he gets in there and he sees everything that's going on. And since I wasn't here, I didn't get any Super Bowl party pictures. And they had their big festivity of discussing it. And Miranda was one of the students that got to share about the Super Bowl. What was your topic, Miranda? Potato soup. So we got to talk about different things that they ate at the Super Bowl party, as well as like where footballs were made, and it's just a nice time. And I really hate that I missed it. So, but that's a great time. And if you can ever catch the Super Bowl party, I know that Mr. Beast was there. It's a great time. It's
These kids do an excellent job. I just can't say nothing about it.
Mrs. Schmitz leads it, so it's good to have her here too.
I heard the grilled cheese was really good.
Yes, and I will vouch for that. And if you didn't catch on Super Bowl, they serve soup at the Super Bowl party. So,
Thank you, Mr. Harris.
just you.
All right, so at the high school level, we're still incorporating our students of the week. I actually had another group in here and couldn't find the picture that I thought I took, which maybe I didn't actually. Kids are really responding to it. They're on me all the time about when they're going to get their ice cream reward and things of that nature, which, for high school students, that's a lot. We have National Honor Society inductees. We had 10 new students inducted into our National Honor Society: Owen Beechler, Sarah Beckstead, Brooke Burkhead, Logan Daugherty, Hudson Hill, Eric Keeter, Brianna Kennedy Thomas, Lydia Lee, and Shay Lee Swick. It was a great afternoon. Kids did a great job in their speaking parts, and they organized the whole thing. Mr. Paloma does a good job of facilitating that. But the kids are the ones that put the whole thing on, without much direction from him. He tells them what they can do and can't do, but they run it all. Kind of like with Mr. Bulmer and FFA. These kids actually are doing these things instead of somebody telling them what to do, which shows a lot of growth and maturity. We had Valentine's Day, little celebration with some of our little ones in art class. Mrs. Estes was bringing in some of the kids to do some art projects, and it's nice to see the bigger kids working with the younger kids. And, you know, when I was in there, just the smiles on those elementary kids' faces while they're working with, you know, these upperclassmen and, you know, leaders of the building. I mean, you know, when Parker Davidson is working with a little kid and he's just beaming, and, you know, kids working with Austin and Riley and Macy Castle and those, I mean, they just love it. So, you know, as we move on to the future, I know we've talked a little bit about incorporating more of those types of things, and we're going to come up with those types of things where we're going to get kids down to the elementary reading and those things, just to get the, I mean, we are one family. So we're in one building. The more we can get those kids together, the better Bradford we will be in this building. A couple big things going on with FFA. Mr. Balmer's group, Megan Wood, last night placed first place in the district creed speaking contest, which is an amazing accomplishment. She's going to go to state. To get there, she came in second place in the sub-district over at the Career Center in Pipla, while Avery Hillman came in third place. So she just missed out on going to the district level, but they're both freshmen. So, you know, they're showing a lot of growth at a young age, and, you know, they're just going to get better and better. Molly Clark Jr., she earned her state FFA degree this year, and she's also going on doing great things for our FFA department, and, you know, that seems to be growing, and kids are getting involved, which is great because it's a pretty new program for us. And Mr. Balmer and the kids are doing a really good job. Some upcoming events we've got going on this weekend. Boys and girls both play Saturday. Girls are at 11 down at Trotwood playing for the sectional title, and the boys are playing at Pequa first round tournament. We do have a cheer competition for the WOAC here on Sunday. So all of the WOAC schools and their cheer teams will be occupying the building. We have an athletic booster meeting next Wednesday in the Media Center at 7. PTO is the following Wednesday at the 2nd. It's 6 in the Media Center. We have FFA week all next week. So there are activities, you know, K through 12 all next week. So it's going to be a fun week. We're going to have spirit days, and, you know, the kids are going to be learning a lot about ag, and they you know, most people, when they hear FFA, they think of agriculture and farming and all those things. But it is a giant realm of different things. And, you know, our kids are going to get out there and kind of teach all that. And elementary has Read Across America.
Dr. Susan's birthday is next week, or the week after next. And so we have activities planned. We have a guest reader going into the younger grades. Stay tuned to figure out who that might be, but it'll be exciting times as well.
I want to congratulate all the students of the month this week. Great job. You know, keep up the great work that you guys have been doing. I know the high school level, you guys are phenomenal, and congratulations, little one. All right, keep it up.
I would like to add that I went to the Lions Club breakfast and the powerlifting meet on Saturday, and it was nice to walk through the halls and see the art stuff. I wasn't expecting this, and it was so neat to see, and I didn't even know what was happening. But that was perfect timing because so many people come in for the Lions Club breakfast and the powerlifting meet. So that was very good timing. I don't know what I was planning, but it was great timing. So.
No, it actually turned out to be.
Happy coincidence.
Yeah. And I heard so many people walking down the hall saying, you know, so and the work was so impressive. I could not believe some of the things that the students did.
And I like the way it was done where the elementary students could see the high school students' artwork and vice versa. So, I mean, I know that our high school students were going down and like, oh, I can't believe they were able to do that in first grade. And how amazing and everything. It was just.
A lot of impressive artwork.
I like
There
the
is.
colorfulness.
Yeah. It was nice to see.
So we've had a busy month since the last time we met. On the 28th, we had senior night for boys basketball and cheerleading. We had 6 seniors that evening. Olivia Michelle Pete, Abby Fife, Brianna Kennedy for cheerleading, and then 2 debut were Devin Crane and Nolan Case for basketball. We played Dixie that evening, and even better, we won. Always fun and good to win on senior night. And then on February 5th, we had senior day for the girls basketball team. So we had 4 girls, Alexis Farhorse, Riley Cannon, Abby Fike, and Austin Miller. And we won that game as well, which is always nice. And then powerlifting had senior day last week, the same day that we did the Lions breakfast. So it was an absolutely packed, and there was tons of people in there. I mean, there was not a spot to be found to sit in the bleachers. To honor our 8 powerlifting seniors, Hunter Biddlestone, Zoe Brewer, Hope Bird, Keegan Mead, Ryan Kennedy, Jenna Schellbarger, Sean Jones, and Allison Troy. And I know a couple of our seniors got PRs that day. So it was a good day for them. And then was on February 10th against Troy Christian. I know a lot of people probably already know this, but Austin Miller broke her career points record for the school as a whole. So she's the highest scoring basketball player in the school history. She's past 1755 now. I don't know exactly where she's at, but she beat Julie Cascaden's record of 1754 on this 10th. And then that picture at the bottom there is Julie actually came to the girls' tournament game on Tuesday, and Donnie tracked and had a picture together. So she didn't get to see her in person do it, but Michelle Venus had her on FaceTime watching her actually do it when we played the game. So she got to see it via FaceTime and then talk to Aussie a little bit after the game. So it was really cool. And then I know these have already been touched on, but just again, some athletic events coming up. We are winding down our winter season, but powerlifting will be at Tri Village this weekend at 10 a.m. The high school girls will play at Trotwood. We play Covington for the sectional title at 11. The boys start sectional tournament at Piqua against Newton that night. And then Sunday we are hosting the first annual WOAC cheer competition, so it's kind of exciting. Our kids will be competing. Our junior high dance kids will go at 2:37, and high school dance will be at 2:51. So if you're bored on Sunday, you want to come out and watch all the cheerleading. It'll be interesting.
No football.
What? Yeah, there's no football games, so just have anything else to do.
Next is Mrs. Burke. Do you have an update from Dr. Valley?
I do not.
Thank you very much. Mr. Hurst. Let's go on.
Yes, Mr. Barr, before you sit, would you mute that mic, please, and thank you. Okay, I have a few things to update here. First of all, I do a COVID update basically at each of our meetings. Our COVID numbers this last week, zero. So I was very happy about that. We didn't have to report anything to the state. That's the first time since week 13 of the school year that we could do that. So I was very impressed with that. Our attendance rate has basically followed the same suit. As of today, we had less than 10% of our student body absent, which is very drastically different than a few weeks ago when I was really worried about all this. More worried about this, I should say. So anyways, we're seeing positive trends at this point, so I hope that's a continuation. Construction updates. We were very fortunate to talk with our proposed architect. Of course, they're on the agenda for tonight by the name of UDC, which is Widener Design and Construction. They're out of Springfield. They had an absolute amazing package to put together for us. We thought we were very comfortable talking with them. They seemed very trustworthy, very knowledgeable, very energetic about and passionate about what they've got. And we hope that things will move speedily and we'll have a quality product when we're all said and done. But one of the things we really liked about this company is the references we discussed and talked to afterwards. They were very, very pleased with the amount of money that they saved their school districts for the different projects they've had. So we will use a multi-prime package where we bid out different pieces of the project all together in separate pieces rather than one big chunk. That'll save us a little bit of money, and it will allow us more ability to use local people. So it isn't just the big corporations coming in to do this. So hopefully it's a win-win with this. We did develop a phase list, so to speak. And I will share this with anybody that's interested. But basically what's included in phase one, which is the track, football field, everything that's on the inside of the track. So we don't have to take bulldozers across the track and tear stuff up after the track is actually installed. That's phase one. And then we've got alternates, the well for the irrigation, the lights for the football field, pads for the bleachers, so on and so forth. So those will all be alternates in the first phase. And then the second phase will be, of course, the building with the concession stand, restroom, gymnasium, and so on and so forth. So that will be in phase two, which I'll come later on. One disappointing piece of this, we talked about the timeline. They said, yeah, at latest, we would break ground mid-June. So it's a little later than what we expected, but working to make sure that we've got the quality product we really want. I'd rather give up a little bit of time and have it a little bit later than what we expected, but have a good product in the end. So, and hopefully not cost us an arm and a leg in the process. The last thing I've got to talk about, and Chloe just stepped out, she probably knew this was coming. We have two conflicts that are different than what we normally would have with our baseball schedules. We traditionally try to stay off on Wednesdays, and I wanted to tell the board, we do have one game she cannot find another time to schedule this game with. I think it's Tip City on Wednesday in May. So if it's one situation that's not a makeup game, it's kind of against what we usually try to do. But we can talk about that. And then the second one, the baseball team traditionally has tried to get to Fifth Third Field to do a baseball game. Those are always on Sundays, which of course is a piece of itself. But this one, the time slot that they got was for Mother's Day. Now, my first inclination was, wow, I don't want to do that to all the moms out there and take away from family time. And then somebody said, you know what? The whole family can go down and celebrate and spend the day together and watch kids play ball and go out to eat and all that sort of thing. So it kind of made sense. But I did ask her to have the coaches talk with the parents and see if any moms were going to be upset about doing something like this. And it seems like there's a lot of support, and they were excited to be able to go back to Fifth Third Field. So if there are no objections here, I'll go ahead and tell her that one's okay. But we can talk about that later as well. That being said, if there are no questions, that is the end of my report.
Any questions for Mr. Hurst?
Just a few things, and I do want to say the process, I think, with the architects was very well done. We had some very quality presentations made to us, and I'm just appreciative to have someone who is so like-minded working with us. So that's a real positive for us, and I appreciate the team that we had and how it worked together. I've been talking to you about the audit. It is still continuing, and I felt a little better because Mr. Hurst came back from a superintendent's meeting and discussed that there are other people less than happy with the amount of time it's taking. It seems to be a new mode that we're spending quite a bit of time with the audit this year. I'll give you an example. They tested our payrolls, and over a 2-year period, we do 26 payrolls a year, and they did a 2-year test of 40 payrolls. So that gives you an idea of what we are dealing with as far as the statistical sampling. So they're telling me they're winding up. I still don't see any problems with anything we're having. I think it's just a different way of doing business. Now, the one thing that we talked about at the last meeting, and I have not sent it to you, if you remember, as we go through this process, we had 3 legs to the funding, and the second 2 are starting to come to fruition. And I'm going to be sending this to you. The thing that Mr. Hurst and I will be doing on Tuesday is we will be going through an interview process with the bonding agency. I I'm not sure, or the rating agency rather, I think it'll probably be Standards and Poor's. But in preparation for that, and this is one of the things that I've dealt with and wanted to share with you because there's quite a bit of statistical analysis in it and discussion about the school. And when they interview us, they want to know our philosophy, how we're working with things, how we intend to work with the debt structure that we have and how we're going to work with the bonds. And they want to see that we're representative of a quality team. And I don't think they'll have any problems with that. But I will be providing this to you. It is almost final, but I wanted to wait till we got some finality with it. And because I think some of it you'll find is dry reading and some of it you'll find is very entertaining as far as knowing what's going on with our district and how the finances are working. And it's just a reflection of what we have going on. So we'll keep you posted on that. That will get all our funding put in place here shortly. And want to get ahead of the interest rates. I know some of the increases are already built into the marketplace, but I don't think procrastination is our friend on this. We need to get it done. So as you go through these documents, as I send them to you probably within the next week, feel free to ask any questions. And with that being said, I conclude my report.
Any questions for the treasurer? Great. Thank you very much. Next is public participation. If they wish to address the board, did everybody want to go can go? It's really not was our usual. I wasn't sure we actually had as many people as we had, so we kind of didn't give them the opportunity to leave. So we'll get better as we get used to having people.
We'll practice.
It's kind of weird again.
Yeah,
Great, but weird.
yeah. It seems like it's a few years. So if there's no public participation, the next section is financial reports from the treasurer. So the superintendent recommends the approval of the financial journal, the check register, the permanent appropriations, the non-event certifications listed on our agenda, approving transfers and advances, as well as donations to the class of 2021. Emily Megatow, the Bryant Fire Scholarship from Rapid Fire Pizza, Upper Valley Medical, to Anna Beyer Gallery, a donation of the DCSD 2001 computers from Vector Vision, a donation from Collision for Dark County to purchase vape detectors for the bathrooms in the high school and junior high. And next is the resolution accepting the amount from the rates determined by the Budget Commission. And the next item 14, which is authorizing the treasurer to self-sign and endorse transfers to certificates and representing stocks and securities. And the next item 15 is the $2,000 Dark County Health Department for the first installment. Next is recommends the Board of Education advertise for a consultant engineer and architects for the build design of a transportation facility. And next, recommend that we, in compliance with Ohio Revised Code 33-1346, advertise bids for the transportation facility upon completion of the appointment of the design firm. I have a motion to approve the items before the board.
So moved.
First Maria and second for Pastor Louis. Any discussion or questions over the items we have before us? Hearing none, roll call for approval, please.
Mr. Bisecker.
Yes.
Dr. Swab,
Yes.
Mrs. Brewer, Pastor Reinl.
Yes. We have no old business before us. Our new business items are listed, and the superintendent recommends approval of the following items under employment. Employment for supplemental contracts for junior and high school track coaches. Also under employment, a new Spanish teacher and science teacher. And next is resignations for a cafeteria employee. Next, approval of tuition reimbursements. And next item is approving governing board resolution authorizing membership in Ohio School Athletic Association. And that's the resolution for which is listed on your agenda. Next item is approving the course of study for the upcoming year, approving doc days for Ashla Fry, approving a contract with Coca-Cola beginning August 1st, and then approving credit Plus programs for Wright State, Sinclair, and Edison. And next, approving contract with Lang Photographics for this 5-year contract from 26 to 27. Next is approving Miami County Sheriff Department for School Resource Officer, which will begin in July. And next is a resolution declaring transportation impractical. You see the details in your agenda. And the last item is approving an overnight trip to the Wendy's Classic in Ashland, Ohio for our softball team in April 15th to April 16th. Do you have a motion to approve those items for the board? So moved. Scott, in a second.
Second.
Maria, any discussion or questions? I said just one question about the college credit officers. They have various options.
They do. The transcript or the memorandum of understandings that you've got in front of you now are the ones that we typically have students go to. Students have the availability of going elsewhere. And if they do choose, say, a Wittenberg out of Springfield, then we would get basically an agreement with them to make sure everything's agreed upon.
Really helps with transfer of credits.
Really does. Really does.
Absolutely. A barrier that I've heard over the years. Any other discussion or questions? Hearing none, roll call for approval.
Mr. Biesecker.
Yes.
Dr. Swab.
Yes.
Mrs. Brewer.
Yes.
Pastor Rindle.
Yes.
Can I take a quick 30-second break and say congratulations, Bethany. Bethany Espich is going to be our new Spanish teacher just because of that last motion. She comes to us with 14 years experience was it all from Graham? Okay. So I've had the pleasure of working with Bethany before. So I look forward to her fitting into our culture and our team here and family. And I'm excited to have you on board. So congratulations.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you all so much.
Welcome to the district.
Thank you so
Forward
much.
to-
Welcome aboard.
It's nice visiting with you.
Be safe for your travels out there.
Yes, please.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really getting slick, so get moving. Next item is a resolution selecting WDC Group LLC as architect and authorizing an agreement for services, the details of which is laid out in our agenda. I have a motion to approve.
So, second.
Maria, second. Thank you. Good discussion, questions, or other explanations? Hearing none, roll call for approval.
Mr. Biesecker.
Yes.
Dr. Swab.
Yes.
Mrs. Brewer.
Yes.
Pastor Rindle.
Yes.
Our next item is approving, the superintendent recommends delegating to the superintendent of responsibility for change orders for the upcoming project of limiting to $25,000. Have a motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion or questions?
This is only going to be as needed in an emergency just to speed the process of the construction. And I will absolutely report back to you guys. And if there's anything that seems to be controversial, I will talk to you guys before any okay is done.
Just allows us to use the vehicle without having a special meeting
Exactly.
to approve those, so. And that's why you're going to communicate with us, so as long as everybody's ready, I think that's great. Roll call for approval.
Mr. Biesecker.
Yes.
Dr. Swab.
Yes.
Mrs. Brewer.
Yes.
Pastor Rindle.
Yes.
Next item is approving the treasurer and superintendent to advertise for services necessary for the requirements for the track project, such as boring, surveying, engineering, and other services. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second, Pastor Louis, and discussion or questions? And roll call for approval.
Mr. Biesecker.
Yes.
Dr. Swab.
Yes.
Mrs. Brewer.
Yes.
Pastor Rindle.
Yes.
Next is the official second reading of the school calendar for 2023. And Mr. Director recommends accepting the calendar as it was published. With a motion to approve. So moved. And a second.
Second.
Absolutely, thank you. Any discussion or questions?
This is the one they wanted, they voted on a couple different ones. This is the one that came out on top, so. And for those of you that haven't seen it, we will publish this. I'm gonna say we could have it on the webpage either tomorrow or early next week.
Already on there for the previous.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Okay. There we go. Sounds good.
Roll call for approval.
Mr. Bisecker,
Yes.
Dr. Swab,
Yes.
Mrs. Brewer,
Yes.
Pastor Rindle.
Yes.
Next item is the motion to enter executive session for item 1 and item 2 on your agenda. A motion to approve.
Yes.
I'll second. So second. Roll call for approval.
Mr. Bisecker,
Yes.
Dr. Swab,
Yes.
Mrs. Brewer,
Yes.
Pastor Rindle.
Yes.
No, I mean, no actions are being taken after the executive session.
Yep, everybody be careful going home.
Thank you, Michelle. We want to get those all taken care of tomorrow.
So the start chapter one, good.
No, it's fine.
Go across the road. Scott, do you need help?
No, I'm moving through here, so I can get there. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I didn't hear how you do Saturday. I talked to Greg, you mean to call him and that appointments or anything like that. But that's what I was telling you. Yeah. And it was unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable.
Smells good.
I have a coworker that has this severe allergy to corn. She can't be anywhere near popcorn.
Oh, really? Wow.
Like popping.
Everything.
If it's, oh yeah, like I'm talking everything. She, even all her medicines they have to make
Yeah.
with
because-
no corn. Yeah. They have to like call in special prescriptions, but she can be around popcorn, but not when it's popping. Or a bag of Doritos when it opens, that just, one of my coworkers, like she has an EpiPen all the time. So,
At 8:25, if we're out of executive session,
oh, we're live.
can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. Roll call for adjournment, please.
Mr. Bezeker,
Yes.
Dr. Swab,
Yes.
Mrs. Brewer,
Yes.
Pastor Rindle.
Yes. I still have 8:25.
We stand adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Hopefully the